Welcome to the Motocross Supercross podcast. Podcast.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Motocross Supercross podcast.
Episode 162. Oakland Supercross is in the books. It's over. It's done. It was a good one. A lot of stuff happened. A lot of stuff to talk about. And we're going to be talking about the 450s this episode. So let's just jump right into it. I'm Adam here with Claudio. What's up, Claudio?
Well, a lot of stuff to talk about. We got some rumors. We have someone repeat a win.
Yep.
And can't wait to tell you all about it.
First of all, let's just jump right into this. Qualifying times. It was a little crazy. First thing I want to mention is check out our Instagram at MXSX Podcast. Justin Hill went down in this qualifying and he was able to get up. He was a little banged up, he said. A little bruised, but the crash is on our Instagram. He totally got pitched off that bike in that whoop section right after it. And I don't know, it was a weird crash. It was so weird. And he landed just flat on his back, like on the side of a jump, right next to the flag.
He got ejected. Where's the nets at this point?
Yeah, where's it? Yeah, or more tough blocks. Okay,
well,
so
not really, because he got he just kind of jumped over the berm after that first whoop section. But if there was a net there, it would have been caught by it. But I feel like they only put in the nets to protect
the audience.
The audience, yeah, but they should be thinking about the riders. They should be thinking about this kind of stuff.
Yeah, because we saw last year when riders would jump a berm, and then we saw that collision. I want to say it was in Dallas where one of the riders jumped over the turn and hit someone who was coming down the start straight, and they had a pretty big crash. So here's another incident where he easily could have jumped into that section, first of all, either to get landed on or if his bike or someone hit someone else. So obviously it's dangerous and anything can happen, but yeah, it seems like
you almost hit that flagger too.
Yeah, almost got the flagger. Hey, at least if you're gonna crash right in front of the flagger.
Yeah, the guy was just looking at at his section, and then out of nowhere, it's like, oh, there's a guy laying down right next to him. Okay.
He's like, should I wave the flag? Yeah, I should. There's a guy on me, even though he's not in the section, but I'm still gonna wave it.
He's like, I got you, dog. I got you. But yeah, Ken Roczen with the fastest 450 time. He said it in the first practice. Yep. Cole Seeley, his teammate, had the fastest practice time in the second qualifying, but it wasn't faster than Ken Roczen's, and he set the fastest time.
Yeah, that track changed a lot from kind of that first to second section. Like Ken Roczen's lap time was a whole second slower in that second time. So they were definitely going a little bit slower, except Cole Seeley, like you said, someone who I picked to do really good this weekend, was flying in practice. He looked really good. Yeah, Savachi had that third fastest time. Moose Gann had that fourth fastest time. Cooper Webb, last week's winner of the Triple Crown, that fifth fastest. Dean Wilson, sixth fastest time. But Eli Tomac, eighth fastest time. It's weird. I just expect I picked him to win this week. So whenever he qualified eighth, I was concerned, very concerned. Blake Baggett, who we saw win in Glendale, 12th place fastest. Justin Barsha able to race 13th. Aaron Plessinger, 14th fastest. Chad Reed, 15th. Justin Bogle, 16th. This class is still stacked. It's still stacked. Yeah. And someone who, there's a couple of riders who we just haven't talked about really, like Vince Freezy, 9th place. Like, he's always in that position that's just like, they don't show him at all. He's always just right there. But he's still like, even in being in front of Hill and Brayton and Baggett and Plessinger, Reed, Bogle, he deserves a little bit of credit. So just throw that in there.
Yeah, that's a good observation right there. Vince Freezy, who's been a little bit consistent this year, and yeah, he's been in that position. I guarantee you they're going to start talking about him a little bit more when you see Eli Tomac and guys like Cooper Webb and them right there in 8th place.
Of course. And Ronnie Stewart, 26th fastest time. We did a podcast with him a couple episodes ago. Go check it out. Obviously, we're cheering for him. So Ronnie for Husqvarna, of course. Looking for a rider.
Ronnie for Husqvarna tent for sure. But speaking of Husqvarna tent, Zach Osborne,
yes,
to be back
soon
for Minnesota.
All right,
nice tease, right?
All right. So does that mean he's like back riding now and stuff? Is he?
Yes. So he started riding this week. So he's been riding on on an actual track.
Good.
And he's expecting to be back. Yeah, like I mentioned, for Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Minnesota. All right. Very good. Very good. I like that.
Yes.
I like that. That'll be interesting to see. Dean Wilson, as we said, 6th fastest time.
Yep.
Still riding for himself. I guess he didn't get that call we were all expecting.
Well, rumor says that Dean Wilson was actually running Jason Anderson's bike.
Oh, what?
Yes. So he was they okay. That's the rumor. They did pull it down from the Husky rig, and he will be riding it. They said that he was riding it last night, but he's definitely going to be riding it for San Diego, and he will be under the Husky tent for San Diego.
That's pretty cool. I like to hear that. That's good. I saw that picture of Jason Anderson put on his Instagram of his arm all casted up. Yeah, he got jacked up. That was pretty bad. Like he had a cast on it, like Rookie of the Year, where his like arms up like in a football throwing position almost, where it's just like right next to his ear. So maybe he'll be able to like throw a baseball really fast or something when he's healed up. You never know. But yeah, that just sucks for him. I saw he was able to make it back home finally to watch the races from his house, but too bad he won't be out there. It definitely looked like a bad injury. Big arm cast. Obviously, we talked about it in our previous episode where we talked about how he broke both the bones in his arm.
Well, he broke it in 2 places.
Yeah, exactly.
And they don't think he's going to be back for Supercross, but he'll definitely be back for Motocross.
All right, that's good. That's good to know. So that means Dean Wilson could be there for the rest of the year. And that's all he wanted. He didn't want to just be a fill-in rider. He wanted to, know he could finish a season with a team. So that's cool that it's kind of fading in that direction. It seems like everybody wants Dean Wilson on that team. Everybody. Nobody's opposed to it. Of course.
I mean, why wouldn't you, Ben? But, with that bomb that I just dropped on you, there's rumors to say that he will be under the tent. And they need him. So why not?
All right. Well, there we go. Problem solved. It just seemed like a perfect match. So
you're welcome.
I'm not surprised. I can't say I'm surprised, but actually I'm surprised it wasn't really like publicized, really.
Well, I got you the scoop, bro.
All right. Well, we just publicized it. So
exactly.
Everyone thank Claudio.
No worries. MXSX podcast. You can find me there.
So let's go ahead and jump into this first heat race. We have some of the big names in this thing. We got Musquin, we got Plessinger, Baggett, Tomac, Seeley, some big names in here. And obviously I picked Tomac to win this race, so I was pulling for him hardcore. But Baggett, who had a terrible qualifying time, just ripped this whole shot, and he was out there. Tomac was up there too. Musquin, Seeley, all those top riders are right there. Dean Wilson, though, who we just talked about, got a little sketchy on the start. He like dabbed his foot weird or something. I don't know. What happened to him was really weird because he didn't crash and he just he looked like something.
He almost got hit.
Yeah, he did almost get hit. I think he did hit someone, and it looked like he dabbed his foot. I don't know if he hurt his knee or something, but he just he went around a whole rhythm section. He went off the track, and yeah, it just seemed like something definitely happened there for sure. Whatever happened to him at the beginning of this race, really crazy. He was able to keep going somehow, but yeah, it was just really weird because I'd love to hear what happened to him about that. That was crazy. Yeah, and speaking of Dean Wilson real quick, one thing that's cool, I saw on his Instagram, he had what he called a meal with Beast Mode himself, Marshawn Lynch, Raiders running back. So he's obviously a legend in the football world. And his story is really cool, and he's like such a character himself. So that was cool. That it's kind of big for the sport to get him with Dean Wilson. So that was cool.
Yeah, everyone just supporting Dean Wilson. Everybody wants Dean Wilson to do well.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie though. I definitely thought it was Malcolm Stewart. I was like, oh cool, Malcolm's at the race. I was like, oh wait, no, it's Marshawn Lynch.
Bro. That's a little racist, I want to say.
No, they literally look like twins. All right, they're twins, bro. They're definitely twins. So
okay,
that's cool. Yeah. So, anyways, back to this race. Baggett
up front. Yep. Seeley passing Musquin for third place.
Yeah,
Eli Tomac takes the lead from Baggett. Seeley also makes the pass on Baggett. I believe.
Yeah. Baggett started the fade just a little bit, but yeah, that was really cool. Seeley straight up passing Musquin like that. I was like, all right, Seeley's gonna do it. I picked him to do good this week, and he's doing good.
Yeah, Mooskin, he's starting to go backwards as well. He lost a couple of positions. Braden also passed him. Bogle, he had a big crash in the whoop section.
Man, oh my gosh. He destroyed that bike. Destroyed it. That was it. They had to throw that bike in the trash after that crash. He totally ruined it.
Yeah, it was crazy how, like, well, first off, whenever they showed the replay, I thought he, like, messed up his ankles, too, the way he landed. But he just got up right away. But that bike, like... What the heck?
Yeah, he like wheelied it out and the fender like caught one of the whoops and it just like ripped the whole thing in half. It seemed like everything came up. The seat came up, the pipe broke, and it was just like, that was insane. Like they literally had to throw that bike in the trash and just start fresh.
But yeah, for real. But yeah, Tomac ended up getting the win. Sealy got second. Blake Baggett got third. Marvin Muskin got fourth. Justin Brayton got fifth. Plessinger got sixth. Kyle Chisholm 7th, Cole Martinez 8th, and Alex Ray 9th. Look at that. HEP represent. Yeah. But good to see Kyle Chisholm back and making it.
And Alex Ray, he's doing good at these last couple of weeks, straight to the main from the heat race.
Look at that. Daniel Herlin in 10th, Ronnie Stewart in 11th, Dean Wilson in 12th, Angelo Pellegrini in 14th, who unfortunately had a couple of bad moments. We'll get into it in the LCQ. Justin Bogle, who, well, DNF'd.
Yep, they're all going to the LCQ. So let's go ahead and jump into this 450 heat number 2. We had, obviously, other big names. Chad Reed, legend Chad Reed, Cooper Webb, Ken Roxon, Savachi, Freezy, Bowers, Barsha.
Yep.
All these names in this race. And
Justin Hill.
Exactly. And getting the whole shot, last week's winner, Cooper Webb, looking awesome out there.
Cooper Webb with a clean hole shot,
So
followed
clean.
by Joey Savachi and legend Chad Reed.
Yeah, a great start for Reed finally. I mean, he obviously gets some good starts, but it's always just good to see Chad Reed up there. He looks just legend Chad Reed. Yeah, he was in front of Roxon and Bowers, Barsha, Freezy up there.
Yep.
Roxon, he was able to get Reed for third place on that like wall jump section.
Yep. Barsha struggling a little bit to pass Bowers, and all I can think of is he going to take him out because he broke his arm last year or not? That's all I could think of.
Yeah, me too. Every time those two are together, I think of that exact same thing too. I'm just like, what's going to happen? Some revenge? A little bit of something, but no, we didn't really see any of that. And they kept saying Barsha. They made sure everybody knew that his tailbone was bruised and he did not want to sit down. But then he's bouncing jumps and stuff, of course. But it was just funny.
You know that's gonna hurt because I don't know if you ever hurt your tailbone before, but it sucks. I mentioned that you just feel like you're gonna poop yourself, and it's not a good feeling. Cooper Webb, he makes a big mistake in the whoop section and he gives Savachi the lead.
Oh man, yeah. That sucks for him. He stalled his bike and just gave those positions away. Savachi and Roxon got by him, but he was dominating out there for a little bit.
Yep. Savachi ended up getting the win. The first rookie to get a heat win. His first heat win on the 450 class. You know, Roxon got second. Cooper Webb ended up getting third. Legend Chad Reed got fourth. Justin Barsha got fifth. Tyler Bowers got sixth. Vince Freezy in seventh. Justin Hill in eighth. And then Austin Politelli in that ninth in last position. Everybody else straight to the LCQ.
Yeah. Entignap, the one HEP rider, still hasn't made a main yet. We're still waiting. Well, let's jump into this. Let's jump into this 450 LCQ. We saw some pretty cool stuff happen in this one. And interesting for the LCQ, we had some big names in this race. Obviously, Dean Wilson, who went out in that first race, and Justin Bogle, who destroyed his bike. So those are some kind of big names for this LCQ. And it wasn't really surprising, but Bogle pulled a whole shot.
With a leg swag.
Yeah, I didn't see any leg swag. He's got to bring that back. That's for sure.
He does.
So Bogle pulled that whole shot. Dean Wilson was right behind him. Bogle, he kind of left the door open. It looked like he just let Dean Wilson just pass him. He was just like, he just like gave it up to him. He was just like, go around me. It was just like, there was no fight at all.
He's just trying to make the mains, you know, he just want to get paid. That's all.
Yep. So yeah, exactly. When you're in the LCQ, it's just nerves are high. You're just like, yo, if anything happens, I'm not going to make it to the main. So he's just like, all right, second place, I'm in the main. So here you go. I know you're faster than me. Take the spot. So yeah, Dean Wilson moved out front. Bogle got second. He was right behind him. But the big battle was back here for these qualifying positions. Ryan Brees was third, but Ronnie Stewart, who we're big fans of here, of course, he made this epic pass on Carlin Gardner. He dominated the whoop section and then just slammed the crap out of him. He slammed him so hard and he made it in. He freaking made it in. That fourth final spot. It was so epic.
Yeah, that's right. The other thing that we mentioned, Pellegrini, he goes down pretty hard.
Oh, man. So hard.
It looked like he got cross-rutted and he ended up hitting one of the tough blocks, and then he faced into the land, or not the landing, but the face of the jump. I really hope he's okay.
Yeah, his visor just instantly just snapped off, and it just looked nasty when he landed like that face first into a jump. But it looked like he kind of skimmed over the top of it, so maybe the impact, I mean, obviously it was bad, but it definitely could have been worse.
Yeah, especially for someone that, came all the way from Italy and is pretty much paying for everything out of pocket. It sucks to see that happening. And coming out from making the main last week, kind of sucks for him. And I hope he gets better and we see him again next weekend in San Diego. But Dean Wilson won, Justin Bogle in second, Ryan Brees in third, and then Ronnie Stewart, fourth place.
There it is. And all those guys going to the main. And let's jump into this main because there was a lot of stuff happening in this 450 main. Actually, and here's another thing. We talked in our last podcast about the whole shot, how they were giving credit on the screen that pops up. And same thing with this race. They gave the credit to Eli Tomac, but Cooper Webb was clearly the whole shot winner of this race. Clearly.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And followed by his KTM's compadres, which was Marvin Musquin and Justin Bogle.
Yep, exactly. So Marvin Musquin was right there. Bogle's right there. Plessinger's behind them. Savacci's up there. Seeley's like 6-ish. Roxon was up there. Tomac, though, not a good start. He did not get the whole shot. He was like back in 10th.
That's right. Yeah. He was battling with Barsha, who was sitting in 9th, and Ken Roxon sitting in 6th.
Yeah. Savacci and Roxon, they both passed Plessinger right there after the whoops. There's a lot of passing that happened in this race. And then in that sand section, we saw Seeley go down. My boy, I picked him. I keep saying that, but he looked really good all day. So it was just so unfortunate for him. He was going to do good.
Yeah. He was sitting in 7th too when that happened.
Yeah, exactly. And then Roxon, we saw him. Bogle, well, first of all, Bogle looked good. He was running up there for a little bit. And Roxon was able to get past him for 4th place.
So yeah, Sabaji made the pass on the wall jump for 3rd place over Bogle.
Yep.
Roxon also makes the pass on Bogle for 4th place. Plessinger and Eli also make the pass on Bogle. And then after that, Plessinger went down on that wall jump.
Yeah, and it was a sketchy jump to go down on because it was so steep. It was probably a little bit blind, and I don't know if his bike cut out or what happened, but he just ejected over the front of it. And he's lucky. He almost didn't clear that handlebars. It almost went up.
Yeah,
he almost sat on it.
Frogger.
Let's say that. He almost sat on his handlebars. He barely missed it. So it could have been bad. Obviously, it was bad for him because he couldn't even get to his bike because all the bikes are jumping and stuff. And Chad Reed actually landed on his bike. So good thing he didn't pick it up. Good thing he waited because Chad Reed came down right on top of his bike.
He was like so desperate too. He's like moving people like, go that way.
Yeah, he's waving them and stuff. I don't know if the flagger was doing a bad job or something, but yeah, he should have.
I feel like the flagger was not doing a bad job. It was just, you had that wall jump and then you made that turn right there. So that area right there was very like one line,
And he was right in the middle. Exactly. He was like dead center in the middle of the track.
Yeah. So there wasn't really like, like the flagger was just alerting the guys that somebody was down, but his bike was just in the middle of it. And it just kind of like, there wasn't really much to do besides just wait until everybody goes down or go by.
Yeah, so his bike was jacked up and he fell to last place. And then after this point, this is where it gets crazy. So much started happening in such a little amount of time. It was insane. Like, I was like, well, what is happening? we cranked it up a notch in Oakland, that's for sure, because Musquin, he makes a mistake. Savachi moves to second, and Roxon's in third, and then Tomac's right behind them in fifth.
Yeah, please explain to me what happened here, because I have no idea.
Yeah, it was just so much happened at one point, because then Tomac makes a pass for fourth, and then Roxon gets by Savachi, and then Savachi ends up off the track with a bike problem, and he was just devastated. I was devastated for him because obviously in the heat race, he looked really good. He was running up there in this race, and then a bike problem to keep him out. That thing just like locked up. It wouldn't fire up or anything. He knew it was over, and it was just, that was the worst.
Yeah, and then out of nowhere, like Musquin is back in second place.
Exactly.
And like no one really knows how that happened. Like, he like looked like he made a mistake, and then Roxon got caught up with a lapper. Like,
yeah, Tomac missed that triple, and then Musquin was able to just pass him right up back, and it's just like, all right. And then Musquin jumped past Roxon in the whoop. See, everyone gives Musquin a bunch of crap, but we said it last week. Musquin is the best at jumping through whoops.
Yeah,
actually, and Cooper Webb. Cooper Webb was jumping like 8 of them at a time or something. I don't know what he was doing. He was like an animal out there.
Yeah, Roxon tried to. Yeah, meanwhile, Cooper Webb's still up front, just capping everyone.
Exactly.
And before the race, Roxon went to congratulate Adamson Cirulo, who won the 250 main event. Mm-hmm. And you can see like Adamson Cirulo saying like, "Jump the whoops, jump the whoops, jump the whoops." So like Roxon tried doing it for a little bit, but yeah, Musquin and Cooper Webb, or the KTM guys, they had it dialed out, and yeah. So Musquin, after this whole chaos happened that we don't know how he got to second place, he had an impressive performance, man. He closed the gap on Webb from 8 seconds to less than 1 second.
Yeah. And I was so mad in our picks episode after I made my 450 picks. You're like, what? No, I talked up Musquin so much, and then you're like, no Musquin, and I was so mad that I didn't pick him. And this is why I knew I should have picked him. But Roxon and Tomac had that battle for fourth at the end too. But then Roxon made that mistake, and Tomac took the position. So Red played Roxon, finishing 5th place in this race. But the big story is Cooper Webb.
Cooper Webb, man, winning the race. By the way, we were talking, like I was talking about Marvin Musquin and how he closed the gap to less than a second. If he had one more lap, he would have passed him.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was flying. Like, Musquin was flying to that thing. And he said that he's not 100% yet, and that's kind of scary.
Yeah, that's crazy right there. And we said, okay, so Cooper Webb wins this race. We said if Cooper Webb wins this weekend, he has to be taken seriously as a contender, like not even contender, like a favorite, and he is now.
And that's my next question. Is Cooper Webb a serious contender to this championship?
Not even, I don't even say a contender. I think he's a favorite. I think he's a favorite to win this championship right now, just because how good he looked out there and how good he is at getting these starts, and he looks awesome. Everything is firing on all cylinders for him right now.
So comfortable on that bike. Yeah. So comfortable. And it's amazing. He's going from winning his first round ever at the Premier class to winning 2 in a row, to dominating from start to finish, to also getting the red play for the first time ever. What a couple of weeks. For Cooper Webb.
And KTM going 1, 2, 3 on the podium. Cooper Webb, Marvin Musquin, Blake Baggett. Just taking over that podium, turning it orange.
So is he the favorite?
Of course. I think he is. I'm going to pick him to win next week.
Can he go 3 in a row, man? I mean,
he could win every race the rest of the season.
If he keeps riding the way he's riding, for sure he can. He dominated the Triple Crown. He won 2 out of the 3 mains. He came back and continued. Like literally where he left off last week, he just came out and dominated this race, man. It's incredible how fast and how comfortable. And that's another thing. Like, he didn't even look like he was trying at the end until Marvin Musquin started closing him.
Yeah.
Which is another scary fact, that Cooper Webb don't even look like he's trying, and he's fast.
Dude, when I saw him jump through the whoops like that, I should have counted how many he did. I'm going to count them later, but I think he jumped 8 of them. Like, it was insane. So, and Tomac, obviously the fastest qualifier and at the beginning of the season, the favorite to win this championship, doesn't even finish on the podium, 4th place. Same with Red Plate Roczen, all the way back there in 5th place now. So
well, not Red Plate Roczen anymore, but
that's right.
Cooper Webb, he I mentioned it to you off the air, but I didn't want to spoil it for you guys. But Cooper Webb had the 5th time qualifying, just like Adam Cianciarulo did for the 250 class, and they both won. So I wonder if they went with the same strategy, just kind of like
find the
just
lines.
Concentrating on race lines and just trying to find the spots instead of just trying to throw a fast lap. I saw Cooper Webb, that area that they go like across the start, and it was like you can like single on and jump it all the way.
Yeah.
Or you can like jump on and then just kind of jump out off of it. He was doing that like a lot, and he was just trying to, like get a line out of it. So
also
Cooper Webb, take him seriously.
Speaking of them both getting 5th and then in 5th in qualifying and then winning the main event, they're both also the first repeat winners of this season, the Supercross season, 2019 Monster Energy Supercross season. So
exactly,
we got a repeat winner with Adam Cianciarulo and a repeat winner with Cooper Webb now. So
exactly,
coincidence?
So
I don't know.
Let's take Cooper Webb seriously, and well, he won this race. Marvin Muskin in 2nd, Blake Baggett in 3rd, Eli Tomac got 4th, Ken Roczen, as we mentioned, no more Red Plate Roczen, 5th place, Dean Wilson, who got 6th place, Justin Barshin ended up getting 7th, Braden in 8th, Legend Chad Reed in 9th, Justin Bogle in 10th, Cole Seeley in 11th, Tyler Bowers in 12th, Vince Freese in 13th, Justin Hill in 14th, Cole Martinez in 15th, Kyle Chisholm in 16th, Alex Reid in 17th, Ryan Breeze in 18th, Aaron Plessinger in 19th, Ronnie Stewart in 20th, Joey Sabaji in 21st, and Austin Politelli in 22nd
That's
place.
right. So looking at these points now, Cooper Webb, 83 points, Ken Roczen, 81 points, Eli Tomac, 80 points, Marvin Musquin, 79 points. So those top 4 guys all within 4 points of each other. So it really is a battle, and it's shaping out so good right now.
These two classes, 250 West and the 450, so close. Those top 4, top 5 guys are so close to each other. And Red Plate Webb,
If it stays this close, like if we can keep it somehow this close, like the racing is going to be so intense at the end of the season.
Definitely. It's going to be such a great battle, and I hope it goes all the way to Vegas.
That's right. Well, we covered a lot in this episode. Is there anything else we should add to this?
Red Plate Coupe!
Yeah, that's another one. We got to think of another nickname for. So if you got any suggestions, send them to us at MXSX Podcast, and I think we'll see you guys next time.
I think so. See you.
Hey.